Hey guys, it's still July 5th, and what I'm going to do is just briefly go over the last sighting I had up here. It was my last trip up here, the last night I was up here, or last late afternoon. Um, I didn't make a video that night because it had gotten too dark shortly after this had happened, and I left so early in the morning that that I didn't make a video, and I wanted to do it while I was up here. I had to get some stuff put together with it. But we'll start off, with this tree right here. My tent was actually sitting right there. If you go back to a couple of my most recent videos that I just posted a few weeks ago, you'll see that my tent was right there. We were sitting out there in the open. And so I had walked over here uh, because I had to visit a tree. And so right here is where I was standing. And I'm going to try and do this between this pine tree and this pine tree way back in here. We did the measurement with the laser rangefinder at 51 yards from this spot. But what I saw was a tall, what seemed to be slender, compared to most of the sightings I've had. So instead of being built like a football player, I would say more like a center from a basketball team. Um, and I'm guessing it was a female. I don't know for sure, but, for sake of argument, we're just going to say her. But I noticed her right there. She was standing there. And as soon as she realized I saw her, she started walking through the trees over here. Now, I got this tent in the way, so I'm going to kind of step forward so I can give you an idea how far I watched her. But like I said, I noticed her from here, and the finger's blurring. But I watched her walk all the way through the trees until she got back over in this area, and it just, it gets pretty thick back in there, and that's where I lost sight of her. All in all, see her standing there, and then she turned and walked, and by the time I lost sight of her, it was probably about 8 seconds. But it was one of, well, it's hard to say one of the best when, I had one sighting better than that, and that was the juvenile over at Squatch Camp. And that lasted quite a bit longer, but this was very good. I mean, I could see the arms moving and the legs stepping, and so anyway, I just put my wife over there so I could shoot the distance, and my wife's about 5'10", and she took her hat off and raised her hat as far above her as she could, and that's about how tall. So I'm guessing right about in between 7.5, 8 foot tall. And once again, she was slender. The sun had set behind the trees, but it was still light enough out. I'm gonna say it was a very dark brown color, if not almost black. But there was a lot of shadow in there as well, so it was real difficult to to make out the actual color. But that's what, when I think about it, that's what comes to mind. We will, when I get Chuck back up here, I'll do a more in-depth video with him on spot and walking through the trees in the direction that she went, so you can actually get a good idea of it. Anyway, that's it for now with this one, so I'll just pan back over to there. Peace out.